Guys, if your company relies on building trust, if you are working with either consumers or businesses or individuals or entities, right? We need an ability to accelerate trust with them. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is with UGC, user generated content. Now, this is largely applicable to things like e-commerce businesses and a lot of B2C brands, but it doesn't have to be, right? If you're in any service-based business, any product where people are using your service, using your product, the content that they generate about your product or service is UGC, right? It still fits under the same umbrella. And historically, this stuff has either been difficult to acquire, right? Like you have to go meet them in person and you're doing stuff, or you're asking them to film from their phone, and then how are they getting that video to you? So there's been some barriers to entry here to create UGC. And I want to give you guys just a couple of tips from both a technology perspective as well as a sort of messaging and like compelling how to get them to actually do it point of view. So one of the biggest complaints with UGC and with generating testimonials and stuff is that people often don't do what we've asked them to. It's like, hey, can you send me a testimonial? And they just don't get around to it. And or they recorded something long and you're like, oh, well, here's a Dropbox or here's something else to try to do this, or they don't know what to do. So first, I want to introduce you guys the technology itself. This is one of the easiest possible ways, but also one of the most effective ways, because it's very easy to ignore an automatically generated text message that says, thanks so much for your purchase. If you could send us upload a testimonial on this website, or, it's very easy to ignore something like that versus a heartfelt request of a personalized video. So that's of course what our technology is about, is creating videos like this to get people to take action. And in this case, the action is for them to generate their own content, to generate their own video. This is why the reply with video feature was built, guys. It was originally built to collect responses, right? Be that testimonials, feedback, questions, somebody that just wants to be heard, right? Know that you're there listening to them. So this idea with this video reply feature is it makes it extremely easy for people to generate and to send you their own UGC, right? Their own user generated content. With this particular function on Dubb, they don't need to download or sign up or install anything, right? They're not downloading an app. They're not signing up with the username, password, whatever. They're literally just clicking the button that was sent to them through a link via text message, email, social media. So the idea with Dubb is we can create a video just like I've done here, where I'm asking a request to give me a video, right? Hey, send me a video testimonial. And this link is now shareable via SMS, social, literally virtually any way you can communicate with them on any device. They can look at a message. You can send this link to them and they can click and respond with a video. They will also have the option to upload an existing video. So let's say if they're like, hey, I don't like how I look in this, but I look really good with my Instagram filters or my TikTok, whatever, they can upload their own video there. So they can do whatever they want. If they are a video personality themselves, even better. They could take one of their favorite filtered whatever videos and upload it here. Or they can just click record and record from any device with a camera on it. So this is one of the easiest ways to technically capture this. However, still, I want to come back to that point of friction where people say, it's really hard to get people to do this, right? They have an excuse or they have a reason as to why they don't. Or sometimes they just ignore it and they don't do anything. So one thing, guys, that works very well for this is the basic marketing levers, right? Incentive, FOMO, scarcity. So you can create some of those things around this request to help your business. So the first thing is incentive, right? We can say, guys, for everyone that sends me a testimonial is getting entered for a chance to win XYZ. Something in your product or service, or maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's something else. It's a gift card to Starbucks or a gift card to Amazon or something, right? So you guys can put together this opportunity, because there's FOMO, that fear of missing out is what FOMO is. There's scarcity, meaning only one person's going to win this opportunity, and then there's incentive. So there's all three of those in one compelling message. And so now if they know, well, they loved your service, otherwise you wouldn't be asking for them for the testimonial anyways. So they have something good to say. And it's just a matter of them finding the time or the energy or the incentive, the motivation for them to send you the testimonial. And those three levers, right? Basic marketing levers, incentive, fear of missing out, scarcity, those are sort of similar as well. but you can leverage all three of those in one message when you're sending this request. So I absolutely recommend doing that, guys. If possible, come up with something that you can offer. Is it the Starbucks gift card? Is it something in your business? Is it a discount? Is it a promotion? Is it a referral fee, right? Whatever that incentive is. And then we can add the scarcity and FOMO on it so that, guys, I'm sending this message, this opportunity to a limited number of people, scarcity. And in that, there's going to be one winner who, if you get to send me your testimonial, if you enter for the chance to win, that's the FOMO, then you get this incentive. So the more levers we can pull, the more effective that's, our messaging can be. But those are the things that I would recommend, guys, to adding to your request. So it's not just the request, because it's just a little bit selfish, right? It's like, hey, you scratch my back and I'm going to thank you for it, kind of thing, right? So you've already helped them by delivering your product or service, but they've also helped you by giving you money. So we're already at an equal exchange. And so now we're going and asking them for something else. So it only makes sense to equalize the exchange again, right? So I'm going to encourage you guys, if we're, collecting testimonials, collecting UGC for your business makes sense, then I highly recommend incentivizing, providing some FOMO and some scarcity on that incentive to get them to do what you actually want them to do. So that's my first piece, guys, and how to get more people to respond with the user-generated content, the testimonials, the client customer success feedback that you're trying to collect with them. So now we have a really great strategy. So you have the heartfelt request, right? Hey, Dr. William, I'd love if you could send me a quick testimonial video. And in fact, if you do that, that enters you for a chance to win, your next year on Dubb on us, right? Whatever, right? There's some incentive and stuff. What I also recommend, this is back to the technology standpoint, give them an example of the UGC, of the testimonial, of the feedback that you're actually asking for. 100%. If they see somebody else's example here, they're going to say, oh, well, this guy talked Dubb about their growth and their sales growth and what Dubb did for that. So now I can talk about that. Oh, well, Dubb actually led to that. So by giving them an example, it makes it much easier to follow, right? So they're not like, oh, I have no idea. What does he want from me? What does he want from me, me to say? Giving them an example is going to also help that, because it's inspiration. It's some motivation. You're like, oh, I can give a better testimonial than that person, or mine's totally different. Mine's going to provide different value than that. So an example, an incentive, and as much clear instruction on this message, right? In this video that I said, hey, do me a favor and send me a testimonial, I'm going to tell them exactly what I want them to say, right? That way they're not picking their brain and saying, oh man, I got to come up with something to say here. Just tell them exactly what you'd like to hear. Now, of course, in their own words or whatever, but give them the framework, give them an outline. We can even go as far as adding instructions here. One, first, intro yourself. Two, then say what it was like before working together. And then three, finally, say what it's like now, right? Just as an example. And so those are actually the written instructions that accompany that video. When you go to share it on any device, those are going to be there. So written, verbal, video, examples, incentive, all of these are elements, guys. If you have tried this in the past and didn't get as many testimonial responses as you wanted, I'm going to recommend to go through each of these exercises to make sure that your UGC request, your UGC collection, testimonial collection is as sharp as possible. And now one thing I'm going to show after this, guys. So we've made it as simple as possible for them to understand, for them to take action, for them to be inspired, for them to have incentive. We have all those things in place. Now we need to follow up with them. We need to remind them, because the first putting all the eggs in one basket is not a great idea. And fortune's in the follow-up, right? There's so many euphemisms or expressions or phrases we can say here to be in the same thing. But this is also why we built a completely automated workflow for this. So we could put someone let me just pull up a different one. We can put someone into a workflow, and then just seeing, I think I have an example of this exact one already. So put someone into an automation, and what it does is it will automatically keep reminding them to say, hey, we wanted to make sure you get entered for this chance to win your XYZ incentive. So something like this. So it sends the testimonial request, and then it waits a day, and then it checks, did they send you their testimonial? Yes or no? And if they did not send you the testimonial yet, then boom, it's going to move to the next one where it's going to remind them and say, hey, we'd love for you to enter for a chance to win XYZ incentive. People are already entering, spots are limited. I'd love for you to be the winner. All you have to do is send me the testimonial below. And then it's going to automatically perform that follow-up on your behalf. These can be texts, these can be emails, but it's fully automated to the point where it's going to continue to remind them until they actually send you the video testimonial, send you the UGC, upload the piece of content that you're trying to get from them. So this is the way to automate that. So we've done all the bells and whistles, right? Gotten this message as sharp as we can get it. And then fortunes in the follow-up, and we're going to be able to automate this process moving forward. Now, one last thing I will say as well is there's another sort of, this is more of a sales tactic where you ask for the big thing, knowing that you want the medium-sized thing. So you might ask for more than you're actually after and wanting them to land here. So you're asking them, hey, I'd love to come into your home, into your office, into your business and film something. Or if that's too much for you, you can just hit reply here and send it right from your phone, right? Like that would be an example where you're asking for something much bigger, which is you need to block out a schedule in your time. I'm going to come with a crew and a camera and a person into your office, into your home, and we're going to film something there. That's a much bigger ask. And they're like, I can't do that, but I can do this instead because that's much easier. I can do it from my phone in my car and wherever I am. So that's an example of, you're asking for something bigger and really what you're wanting is the thing that's something smaller. I gave an example for this previously for Google review, like a written Google review. That is easier to do than a video testimonial for most people because anyone can type on the computer, no matter what their hair or their clothes or if they're in a closet, it doesn't matter, right? They can type a Google review easiher than they can send a good video testimonial. So that's another example, right? If maybe you want a Google review, you want the video testimonial, but then they're feeling guilty, they're not going to give you that. They'll at least give you the Google review. So that is sort of some sales and marketing tactics in this UGC collection for you guys. So I recommend exploring each of those options, right? If you absolutely find that it's not possible for me to incentivize, then you can't, right? But I recommend being able to do something. We can all come up with a gift card or something like that to get them to take action. So there it is.